Hey, how's it going YouTube? It's TAG97 again. Hope all are doing very well today. We're going over the RUGER Mark III 22/45 LITE. And before we get started with today's review, I want to say that I have an Instagram. If you're not already tracking, just go down to the description down below, find the links, find the link that says TAG97, click that one, and it goes straight to my IG. Once you go to my IG, hit that follow button, and you get anything that's exclusively happening on Instagram that you never get to see on the YouTube channel. I also want to thank my viewers, subscribers, and of course the Patreon donors. Without your guys' love and support, we would never have gotten big as we are today. Really, a lot of subscribers and followers on Instagram this week, so thank you very much for love and support as always. I could not do without your help. And I also want to thank Logan, which is the lender for today's firearm. He's been a big contribute to the channel as well, and let's get started. Okay, so before we get into the specifications of this video or educational part, I need to say a quick disclaimer. Now, nothing has been modified on this firearm or added differently, except for my own personal suppressor. That is the only thing that's aftermarket that was used in this video, so let's get to the specs. Okay, so let's talk about the sizing first of the firearm. So the overall size of this firearm is going to be leaving you at 8.5 inches, and that barrel length itself is going to be 4.4 inches. And if you're wondering what is the twist rate of the barrel, good news, I actually have that information. It is 1 in 16 twist, so that's a good decent amount for a 22. And if you're wondering also what is the thread pitch for the barrel, it is 1/2 inch by 28, which is good because that's what my suppressor adapter takes. Okay, so let's continue talking about this firearm. Now let's go about the magazines that it comes with, the ammunition we use for today's video, and the best grain to be using out of most 22 long rifle pistols. Now I will say, since we're going to be talking about the magazine, let's get into the disconnect safety. So disconnect safety or not tracking, that means the magazine is outside the firearm and the firearm will not work. So I'm going to show you that I'm going to put on fire. Obviously it's already cleared and it's chambered and ready to go. So the magazine is outside the firearm and it's on fire, and it will not work until that magazine is back inside the firearm. And since I'm going to be talking about the other stuff, I'm going to put the firearm to the side. So you get two 10-round magazines for this firearm. Now, I did hear that there are extension pieces or base plates you can change out to give you more ammo. Now, unfortunately for this video, I do not have any to show you, but I believe they do make some for this model. And I'm going to put this magazine to the side, and let's talk about the ammunition we use for today's video. So we use CCI, and I'll show you a picture real quick. So Cascade Cartridge Incorporation, 40 grain hollow point subsonic rounds. Very recommended by me, very good grouping, and very quiet too for 22s. And also we use Federal for this video as well for regular ammo. And I'll show you a picture real quick. We used their 36 grain hollow points, 525 rounds per box. Very recommended and very good pricing too. I bought mine at Academy for like $24 a box. I think that's a pretty good bargain if you ask me. Now, what other experts agree, and what I agree with them as well, is they say 38 grain to 40 grain is the best for using suppressors and most 22 long rifle handguns. So if you're going to choose between ammo that you can get, not what's available, if you can choose to be picky about it, I recommend 38 grain to 40 grain. Okay, so let's go over my favorite part of the video, the trigger poundage test. Now, with that being said, I need to tell you that this is a disconnect safety inside this firearm. And what a disconnect safety is, if you did skip to this part, you need to understand that disconnect safety is if the magazine is outside the firearm, even if there's a loaded round inside, which there's not, obviously. If I was to put it on fire, it will not work, and thus leading to the disconnect safety. So I have to have the magazine inside the firearm, and the firearm is cleared, so no need to worry about that. I'm going to put the firearm on fire, and I'm going to grab the trigger poundage test tool, and we're going to find out how much this trigger weighs. Roughly, I heard people say it's about a 5-pound trigger pull, so let's find out. So I'm going to slowly start pulling on that sweet spot. Now I'm going to wait for a distinct click from the firearm. Okay, so that time it says it's roughly 4 pounds. I'm going to test that one more time to confirm, because that's a pretty light trigger if that's the case. I'm going to have to take out the magazine real quick and charge the charging handle. Okay. I'm going to put the magazine back inside the firearm and put the firearm on fire. I'm going to test it one more time. Put it back on 0, as you can see. And I'm going to slowly start pulling on that trigger again. And I'm going to wait for that click one more time, and we're going to hear it. There you go. Oh, I got 4 pounds again. So I guess it's a 4-pound trigger pull. Lighter than I thought it was. I thought it was about a 5 roughly. Keep in mind that the trigger poundage test tool is just to give you a rough estimation. It's not 100% accuracy, but just to give you an idea on where your poundage is on your trigger. Okay, so let's talk about the weight of the firearm, as in no magazine inside or nothing inside the chamber, aftermarket pieces or anything threaded onto the barrel. It's going to be leaving you at 1.42 pounds, or conversion to ounces is 22.73 ounces. Now let's talk about the MSRP, which is everyone's least favorite subject, the retail price. I've seen from different website stores and Ruger themselves, I've seen the price range from $515 all the way down to $450. So the prices will range depending on where you get them. Now keep in mind, if you're buying online, you need to pay taxes, of course, and the FFL transfer to whatever gun store that you're sending it to. So you're looking at a decent amount of money for this. It's not that much. It's like $550, I think, after all taxes. It should be your most amount of money you're spending on this. If it was more than that after all that, I would suggest probably looking somewhere else, because that's a lot of money for a 22, to be honest. Even though this is very reliable and accurate, I think that's a little bit overpriced in my opinion. So I would look somewhere else. But reasonably, you can find this for a very good price. I would highly recommend it. Okay, so since I'm done talking about the specifications with the firearm, let's go into my own personal feelings on how I feel about it. Now, keep in mind that everyone has their own opinions. Everyone has something to say, negative and positive. Now, when I talk about the negative things about any type of firearm that I do review on, it's not that I'm bashing the company or I'm trying to make the firearm look bad in any way. It's just how I personally feel. In my opinion, it's not really going to change too much too often. And it's just how it is. So let's just get the negativity out of the way and let's just knock it out, all right? So, number one, I do not like the magazine for this firearm. Now, if you're saying, oh, the capacity tag, is that what it's bothering you? Yes and no. So I'm not a fan of 10-round magazines. I wish I had a little bit more, maybe 12. But it's just how very specific you have to put this magazine inside the firearm for it to go in. Now, if I normally was reloading, I probably won't be looking as well, and I would probably be getting a jam like this. But for this one, I have to make sure it's exactly lined up for it to go inside the magazine well. Also, the magazine does not fall out naturally. Now, I don't know if it's this firearm itself, but every time I hit that mag release, it does not want to come out at all, and I don't know why. I tried different methods on trying to take it out, and it does just not want to come out naturally. So I have to physically grab it and take it out and change it for that magazine to come out so I can do some reloads. Other than that, negativity-wise, there's nothing else I don't like about it. I mean, it's not the greatest looking gun, personally, for my own taste, but I think it does have a nice finish on it, so I can't really complain about that either. And let's go into the positivity on what I love and adore about it. So number one, right away, my eye catcher was the cut for this barrel cover right here. I really like these cuts and designs on it. It looks very nice. It's very smooth and crisp when it shoots. A light trigger, which I really like. I thought it was a 5-pound. I found out it was actually a 4. And just everything else about it. The grip is really nice and firm. Reminds me of a 1911 grip. And the fact that it's already threaded, the sights are pretty decent. They're not the greatest sights in the world. I probably would change these out later on, or just put a red dot of some sort. Other than that, good pricing. Ammo is cheap, obviously, for this, so you can get some good training. The size feels just about right. Same thing with the pound, so it feels pretty balanced, even when you put a suppressor on it. Depending on what kind of size suppressor you put on there as well, I would say. Other than that, I have to say, this is definitely TAG97 approved. I like it. And let's get further into this video. Okay, so now it's time for everyone's favorite part of the video, the shooting compilation. Now, if you did skip to this part, I recommend you go back to learn the specifications, because there's some things you may want to know about this firearm. If not, no worries. I'm not going to stress about it. Just make sure you do me a favor and hit that like button and, of course, subscribe, because it's always highly appreciated. I love getting a notification on my phone saying that you guys are subscribing, liking, commenting on the video. It's always really appreciated. I promise. I love you all so much for the support you guys do for me. So enough of that being said, let's get to what you've really been waiting for, and I really hope you enjoy the video. So as you see, the Ruger Mark III 22/45 LITE is definitely an awesome piece. A little bit different than what I normally review on here, but for sure it performed to what I expected to, not jamming, having any issues, cycled fine, and just overall worked and looks pretty nice. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of these 22 designs, but I personally like the finish that Ruger did on it. It's very nice and clean and sleek, and it just feels comfortable in the hand. Overall, I'm very satisfied with it. Definitely TAG97 approved for sure. And I want to show you a picture real quick of the accuracy and how it performed. So at 7 yards, I took 3 rounds to the best of my ability. And the same thing at 25 yards, I took 3 shots to the best of my ability. Now, I'm not an expert with this type of handgun, but most handguns I should theoretically switch from them and I can shoot all of them the same way. So no real training involved to get your hands on one of these and learn how to shoot it. It'll naturally come to you, trust me. So other than that, I got nothing more to say. If you did enjoy watching this video, make sure to hit the like button and of course subscribe, because it's always highly appreciated. I love you all. Stay safe, stay healthy. I catch you next time, and thank you so much for watching.